Tom Brady is seemingly always in the news, and so is the NFL. There are always stories coming out from either side of the sports industry, and Tom seems to be the focus a lot of the time. But what has been going on recently with him? Well, stay tuned, because today we're going to cover Tampa Bay Buccaneers QB Tom Brady signs NIL deals with college athletes for new apparel line and some other NFL news. First up, we have Tampa Bay Buccaneers QB Tom Brady signs NIL deals with college athletes for a new apparel line. Tom Brady seems to be putting his name on everything nowadays, and it makes so much sense. His name, likeness, and image are all a company needs to get going and get their brand out there. This is also true for groups of college athletes. Tom Brady recently paired up with college athletes to release his new clothing and apparel line, Brady. He announced this through his social media accounts. On Twitter, he stated that he would be partnering with Michigan quarterback Cade McNamara, Jackson State quarterback Shedeur Sanders, son of Tigers head coach Deion Sanders, Georgia wide receiver George Pickens, and Coastal Carolina quarterback Grayson McCall, among 9 total athletes who signed. It's really cool for me in the position I'm in, Brady said. I look back when I was that age to have had the opportunity that some of these kids are getting is really cool. Brady's new clothing line is launching January 12th, 2022, and the first release will focus on training wear and casual clothing. My apparel line has been in the works for like 3.5 years, so it's kind of cool that it happened at this time, Brady said. Even though Brady has released this new apparel company, college athletes have actually been able to gain some profits off of their names, images, and even their likeness since the end of June 2021. They're also able to endorse products, companies, and even services, which is why they can be part of Brady's new apparel company. He really has done his research and allowed them to get the best possible things out of this new company of his. What a legend. And now, on to some more NFL news. Next up is NFL teams could lose draft picks, face fines for unprofessional conduct during draft prospect interviews. It was just announced that the NFL has issued a warning to teams. The warning was that they could possibly lose a draft pick and even face some significant fines if club representatives conduct themselves in an unprofessional manner during interviews with the draft prospects. ESPN, were sent a memo on the matter, stated that the league said a team would forfeit a draft pick between the first and fourth rounds and be fined a minimum of $150,000 if it's determined a club representative displayed conduct that is disrespectful, inappropriate, or unprofessional during an interview. Fines and or suspensions of individual club employees also could be imposed, according to the memo. We aim for dignity, respect, and professionalism, league executive Troy Vincent told the Associated Press. It's that simple. The league also plans to eliminate the Wonderlic test for prospective players and is revising some of its scouting combine drills to better simulate game-related movement. Wide receivers and tight ends will run crossing routes instead of wheel routes, and running backs will run option routes instead of corner and post-corner routes. The league has also gone on to remind teams annually that this would be happening. However, this is actually the first time that they have threatened specific accountability if draft prospects are asked about anything regarding sexual orientation, religion, or race. All clubs should ensure that prospective draft picks are afforded a respectful and professional NFL environment, one that's consistent with state and federal law and our shared commitment to respect, diversity, and inclusion, the memo states. The same is true of free agents whom your club may consider signing. It's also important for your club to reinforce to prospective players the value your club places on character and the standards of conduct expected of everyone associated with the NFL. And now, Cincinnati Bengals Joe Mixon tests positive for COVID-19, won't play in NFL regular season finale, sources say. The Bengals running back Joe Mixon has just recently tested positive for COVID-19 and has stated that he will not be playing in the upcoming game against the Cleveland Browns. ESPN broke the news about this and had a lot to say about what was going down. According to them, the Bengals also will be without starting quarterback Joe Burrow, who will sit out versus the Browns to rest his sore knee for the playoffs. Coach Zach Taylor said, backup Brandon Allen is expected to get the start. Mixon's test result came back Wednesday, sources said, and he became the 7th Bengals player on the active roster to be placed on the reserve COVID-19 list. 4 starters: safety Von Bell, defensive end Trey Hendrickson, left guard Quentin Spain, and center center Trey Hopkins were placed on the list Tuesday. Mixon is currently ranking second in the NFL season with around 1,205 rushing yards on 292 attempts. This means that he is on an astonishing average of around 4.1 yards per carry. He also has 13 touchdowns, which means he ranks fourth amongst rushers. Burrow, who has started all 16 games this season, said he expects to practice this week. He's thrown for 4,611 yards and 34 touchdowns while completing an NFL best 70.4% of his passes. Anytime you can get a little break at this point in the season, Burrow said, we played a lot of games. Bodies are starting to wear down a little bit. Rest me this week and get my body back to where it needs to be so I can get back to full strength running around the way I need to be week 1 of the playoffs. Next up, we also have Cleveland Browns QB Baker Mayfield to have shoulder surgery ASAP. Won't play Sunday. As well as the departure of Joe Mixon due to him getting COVID-19, it also looks like Baker Mayfield will also be out of the upcoming game, but for other reasons. He won't be playing this upcoming game so that he can go forward with a surgery he's been waiting for. This surgery will be on his non-throwing left shoulder, but means he will have to be out of the game for a few matches to heal back to full. According to ESPN, Browns coach Kevin Stefanski said Mayfield's surgery could happen as soon as this week. A league source told ESPN that Mayfield could be back in time to participate in OTAs, which typically take place in May or June around the league. Case Keenum will start in the Browns' regular season finale against the Bengals on Sunday. Mayfield, who has been playing with a shoulder injury since week 2, admitted following Monday night's loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers that he was pretty damn beat up. Mayfield was sacked 9 times in the game. I've continued to lay it out on the line when I haven't been healthy and tried to fight for our guys, said Mayfield, who's been playing with a harness on the shoulder to prevent it from popping out of place. Now it's time for me to start looking at what's in the best interest of me and my health. Even though things aren't exactly going well for many teams right now in the NFL, his team are more than happy to give him the time he needs to recover from the surgery and the injury. Throughout this whole thing, we've tried to make the right decision based on all the information available to us, Stefanski said. Constant dialogue with our medical staff, with Baker and throughout, have really felt comfortable based on all that information that he was able to play. Mayfield is under contract with Cleveland through the 2022 season, the Browns having already exercised the 5th-year option on his rookie deal. What do you think about this whole thing? Let us know down in the comments section below. And that's the end of the video. Even though we now have vaccinations and boosters in play for COVID-19, it's not like it's affected everything in the world. Sport is one of the major things that people wanted back as soon as possible because people's careers were on the line. Most sports are back to somewhat normal, but they're all still have hiccups and things that they need to keep going. Though it's not great that they're losing a player for a game or so, it's a necessary thing to get sorted. No matter what people are saying about a vaccine or their opinion on getting it or not, making sure no one is positive with the virus is very key. Players are constantly tested and the company has to make sure that it's as limited as possible so that no one else catches it from one player or group. Hopefully things get smoother over the next few months, but time will tell. Hopefully you enjoyed this latest video. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye.